day, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. As you can see, we're back with another video. As you can see, as always, I'm using my Tones Products Monomer. Here are the acrylics that we are using today. They are from Hause and from Tones Products. I will also be using my 100% Kolinsky brush in the size number 12. That is from Hause. That is my new acrylic brush, and I absolutely love it. If you guys ever have any questions about what products I'm using, everything is going to be linked in the description. There is where you can find a detailed list of all the products that I'm using. You will also find my link tree in my description, which has links to all my socials, as well as links to where you can purchase the products that I use and save a little bit of money while you do it. Jumping right into the application, I'm going to start with applying Cherry Pink from Hause, and I'll only be applying that to about half the nail because we will be applying a glitter acrylic to the rest of the nail. I got this Cherry Pink acrylic along with 7 other acrylics from Hause during their Black Friday sale. If you haven't tried Hause yet, you definitely need to try them. I love their acrylics. They have the best glitter acrylics. Even their colored acrylics and cover acrylics are really good. One of my favorite cover acrylics from them is the Bronze. Bronze is a part of their Shimmer Nudes collection that they released in the summertime. It obviously has a little bit of a shimmer to it, and it is just absolutely beautiful. I'll be pulling it back out soon. I'm not going to do too much talking over this application. As you can hear, it's getting kind of crazy here in the background. As always, I'm doing this alongside my children. I always do this alongside my children. While I'm doing this, I'm always balancing being a stay-at-home mom and wife. So as I'm doing this, I'm cooking, I am cleaning, I'm doing laundry, I'm doing so I have to always come in with the correct balance and mindset, and I'm just really trying to keep my head screwed on straight and built. I'm not gonna lie, it is extremely tough mentally and physically doing this while taking care of children and taking care of a household. But I still show up and I try to provide as much detail as possible because honestly, this right here is saving my life. I started all of this a year ago to save my life. It's, like I said, very hard mentally and physically as a stay-at-home mom, and the physical aspect is even more tough for me because I have a autoimmune disease. I actually have several autoimmune diseases, so it's a lot to balance. And just taking care of children 24/7 and taking care of a home 24/7, I was starting to lose myself. Many mothers just in general lose themselves in motherhood, and teaching myself how to do nails was my way of creating a space for me, something just for me. And now I'm sharing that space with everybody else who needs it. You are not alone, and you are very important. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the application. I will pop back in whenever I need to, and I leave the comments open for anybody who needs to vent. It doesn't even have to be about motherhood. It could be about anything. Again, this is a safe space that I've created for everyone who needs it. I hope you guys are enjoying the application so far. So for this nail, it's going to be a half and half nail, and I just want to be careful with how much acrylic that I'm going to be adding to this nail. I want it half to be this glitter acrylic from Nail House, which is Santa's workshop, and then the other half of the nail you will see later on is going to be a red sweater nail. And because we will be adding clear acrylic to cap this, and then I'll be doing gel and a 3D design on top of this, I wanted to keep the acrylic on the thinner side so it doesn't look so bulky. I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that because I know a lot of you guys come here to see my application and to get advice on the application, and again, that is a really important factor to make sure that the end result isn't bulky. And this is something that I honestly had to learn the hard way just by doing sets and being my own worst critic, noticing that, you know, the end result on some nails is a little bit bulky, and, you know, trial and error. So that's honestly one of the other points that I wanted to make in, you know, the fact that when you are doing sets, whether it's on yourself or on somebody else, it's really important to think about your next steps before you do that. I know people throw a lot of shade at some nail techs who, you know, will ask for, you know, like an inspo pic. Can you send me an inspo pic before your appointment? You know, that's not just so that nail tech makes sure that they have everything that they need for that particular set, but it's also so that nail tech can begin planning on the process of that set. Being able to just jump into a design and execute it flawlessly is something that comes with experience, and that is not just years of experience, but experience of doing. Later on, we will be getting into a 3D design of a Santa Claus. I've never done a 3D Santa Claus before. The most that I've done with 3D acrylic is doing 3D flowers with it. This was the first time that I've ever sculpted with acrylic an actual person. I was very nervous to mess up going into it, but again, you learn by actually doing. You gain that experience by actually doing the work. And there's no way that I'm going to learn to be able to do those things if I'm not actually doing those things. And honestly, go into it unafraid. The great thing about nails and acrylic is if you mess it up, you can either wipe it off or file it off. Trust me, it's way worse being a hairstylist when you don't execute a hair color in the fashion that that person was expecting. That's a lot harder to cover up and fix versus not executing a nail design as proficiently as you'd want to. But again, everybody is not going to execute perfectly on their first try. A lot of the time when somebody would ask for a design that I've never done before, especially with line work, doing like a symbol or something like that, I would meticulously practice that on a nail swatch until I got it right and until I was comfortable with that whole process. The more you do something, the more comfortable and confident that you're going to be doing it. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys continue enjoying the application. It's getting crazy around here again. It's like as soon as I start opening my mouth, my children want to hover around and be a part of it, which is normal. They're toddlers, but it gets to be frustrating. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys enjoy the application so there's not so much background noise. It's getting so loud that I can't even hear myself talk. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let you guys enjoy the application. I just wanted to pop back in because at this part I wanted the nail to look like a frosted window a bit. So I'm just going to outline the edges of the nail with Tones Products Chubby Bunny. And right here, just to tie everything in, I am taking more of that Santa's Workshop from Nail House and just putting a little bit of the gold glitter in there and some of the white snowflakes just to tie everything all in. I hope you guys are enjoying the application so far. I don't know if you noticed, but I slowed the video down a whole lot from what I normally set the video speed at, just so you guys can see a bit more of the application. So for this now, I am taking Tones Products Holiday Heist and Velvet Snow, and I wanted to do a candy cane type design. Initially, I wanted to do this down the whole nail, but this took so long because I just wanted the lines to be very clean. I mean, on a candy cane, the lines are clean anyway, but I wanted the lines to be very clean and in that, you know, candy cane shape and pattern, and it just took a really long time. And I eventually ended up finishing the rest of the nail with Nail House's Santa Tell Me. Okay, so after we got all the other acrylic applied, I went ahead and capped off camera. And when I say capped, I mean I encapsulated the nail with clear acrylic. I used Tones Products glass clear acrylic to encapsulate all of the nails. You want to encapsulate all of the nails because you don't want to foul off any of the glitter when you go into your filing and shaping. And that's exactly what we're gearing up to do. We're going to be doing some filing and shaping. Normally I do this off camera, but you guys requested to see the filing and shaping process, so here we go. Now let me apologize in advance if you have made it to this part, because at this point on this particular day, for some reason my ring light wasn't turning on, so I had to use the flash light on my camera, on my phone. So this is the light from my phone to illuminate everything, and it is horrible lighting. I apologize in advance, but you can still see what I'm doing. Yeah, I be doing way too much be going on. I get so tongue-tied because my mind is a million different places. Anyway, I start off by using my hand file. I file underneath the nail, and I kind of tilt it to edge it up on the side of the nail, and then do the side of the nail before I start filing the surface of the nail. That's how I get the sides of my nails so sharp, clean, and crisp. I'm telling you, if you file underneath and then file underneath the nail and then file the sides, that's how you get the sharpest square. Really, I should say the sharpest shape, because this even works with stiletto nails. That's how I get my stiletto nails so sharp as well. So as you see, I mostly file the end of the nail with my hand file, and then I'll go in and use my E-file. So I'm going to let you guys watch that, and I'll pop back in when we pull out the E-file. And now we're going to go in and e-file. This is just to really smooth everything out. When you use a 8080 grit nail file to do your filing and shaping, you get really, really crisp lines, but you also get a lot of lines in your nail. So I like to go in with my Melody Susie 120 sanding band. And you guys, I'm going to use my Saviland e-file to do that. This e-file is so beautiful. I absolutely love it. It's my new baby. And it is powerful. As you saw, it goes up to 50 RPMs. I'm still trying to think of a situation in which you would need 50 RPMs, but hey, it goes up that high. I also seal my cuticle while I'm here using the 120 grit sanding band. You could also use a carbide bit, which carbide bits, they have teeth on them. That would be good if you get a little bit too close to your cuticle and you kind of overlap the acrylic over your cuticle. You could use your carbide bit to just make sure that that acrylic is pulled away from the cuticle and doesn't cause any lifting. But because I can see that I didn't really get that close to my cuticle where it is overlapping and I need that, I just go ahead and seal my cuticle with my sanding band. Also, using the smoother sanding band is going to take out those lines in the nail that the 8080 grit nail file, hand file caused or created, and just kind of smooth out the nail and make the perfect surface for buffing. I also take the time to make sure that my shape is still nice and crisp, nice crisp sharp square. I really love a sharp square shape. So we're all done filing and shaping. I really hope you guys made it through that terrible lighting. I really appreciate it if you did. My ring light started working again after this, so we're back to normal. Now that we're done filing and shaping, all we're going to do now is just clean off the nail, make sure that we remove any dust and debris from the nail from filing and shaping. That way we have a nice clean surface to do our designs. I am just spraying my Tones Products Lavender Scented Pro Nail Sanitizer and taking a nail scrub brush just to clean everything off. Now that we're done filing and shaping, I will be going in with some polishes and some acrylics to do the nail designs. I'll be using these two from GAOY, a red polish and a white polish. I will also be using Nail House's Mistletoe Kisses, Tones Products Mocha Mousse, Chubby Bunny, Velvet Snow, and Holiday Heist. Okay, and so this is going to be the half and half nail. This nail is going to be half red, sweater nail, and then the other half is going to be the Santa's Workshop glitter. This nail is 100% inspired by Gabby at Bomb Nails. She's here on YouTube, and she did a white set where she did a half and half nail, and it was so pretty. She did like this gold rope. It was beautiful. And so I got that base idea from her. Of course, I had to put my own spin on it, you know, and you'll see what my own spin is. I changed the type of sweater design I'm going to do. So for the sweater nails, before you actually pour the acrylic on it and you put your sweater nail design, you actually want to put some matte top coat on there so it doesn't stick, so the acrylic powder doesn't stick. So that's what I did. I put some matte top coat on, and now I'm going in with my sweater nail design, and I wanted to do like these diamonds. And after we get the sweater nail design on there, I'm going to pour some Tones Products Holiday Heist acrylic over top. It is a red sparkle acrylic. Look at my baby trying to put a buffer all in the camera. But Holiday Heist is a beautiful red sparkle acrylic. It has like this gold sparkle shimmer to it. It's beautiful, and it's perfect for the holidays. Okay, so we're back to this half and half now. I wanted this to look like half of Santa's coat and then the other half the Santa Workshop glitter. So in order to get that fluffy look, what I'm doing is I'm laying down the acrylic and then I'm going to poke it to disturb the acrylic to make it look more fluffy. You'll see in a minute. So right here is where I am poking the acrylic to like kind of create that fluffy look. It's going to put some holes in there. Make sure that you dip your nail tool in a little bit of monomer so the acrylic doesn't stick to it. Also, don't worry about leaving holes in the acrylic because the acrylic is self-leveling. The holes will actually fill in and it'll leave more so like divots, and in the end, once it dries, it'll look more like a fluffy look. You'll see.
Come back at 6, wake me and your child, and then won't lay today.